What is good, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I run you through a simple arm day. I don't really do arm day that often, so bear with me throughout this video because throughout the whole video I'm extremely indecisive and I can't effectively say what I'm gonna do because I effectively always change what I do in the session as I go along. But with that in mind, stay until the end because you're gonna know the arm workout that gave us this lovely juicy pump. And I also answer how long it takes to actually see results in the gym because everybody wants to know the answer to that question. So I'm not gonna hold you guys for any longer. Let's get straight into the video. But okay, time to get into the second part of the video that I said I was going to talk about. Someone asked me how long it took to get my physique. And I mean, it's a pretty valid question. Like, when you see a physique online, you know, you want to have the physique, you know, you want to diet down, you want to train hard for it, but it's always with an asterisk attached to it. Does that make sense? Like, you don't want to, no one wants to do things indefinitely. You don't want to receive results indefinitely, you know? So it is a good question. Like, I do get asked that question a lot, but I think the biggest thing that makes a difference, especially in like your ability, even with like any goal in general, you know, the biggest thing that makes a difference is more the habit that you generate around it. What do I mean by habit? It's a lot easier to get to your goals if you focus more on the process. I know it's like super cliche, but one thing that I used to do, especially back in my days when I used to play soccer, was I used to, rather than trying to, because I was on a college team, you know, college teams are competitive, not everyone plays, and I was like one of those players who were like on the fringe, you know, my minutes weren't guaranteed. So rather than measuring, you know, the outcome, like how many minutes I played, because I fundamentally didn't have control over that, I focused on making sure that I showed up every single day, making sure that I was training with good intensity, you know, making sure that I was my best version of myself every single day. And I mean, it compounded over time. You know, it was a long-term project. I didn't not get minutes at the start of the season, start getting minutes at the end of the season. It was more like I was a freshman, far away from, you know, getting minutes. But towards my senior year, I was like a regular on the field. So I kind of like to apply that same approach with the gym. And when I tell people about working out, especially if you're just starting your fitness journey, the habit is the most important thing. And when it comes to showing up, that's really what's going to determine your success at the end of the day. You know, just showing up consistently, putting in effort, and the only way you're going to do that is if you develop a long-term habit. So how long it's going to take? I mean, to answer the question, I think you could get there in like 1 or 2 years of serious dedicated training. But rather than focusing on the time frame, you're going to go a lot further if you focus on the behaviors surrounding the goal. So yeah, let's hit one more set and then move over to some lateral raises. Let's try and get 6 reps. I don't know if that's possible, but we'll see. Whew. 5 reps, but it was a good 5 reps. Do you do an exercise just because it's effective? Or do you do an exercise just because you enjoy it? This is where I have a little bit of a controversial take. You see, I'm not really like, I don't agree with a lot of conventional fitness wisdom that exists on the internet. Only because a lot of it isn't that realistic. You know, when it comes to making gains, especially if you're freaking busy and you have like a lot of shit going on, you know, like you have a job, you have, I don't know, freaking wife or something that keeps you busy. A lot of the times doing stuff that you don't enjoy only makes it harder to stay consistent. You know, it only makes it harder, like, on days where it was already a battle to get yourself in the gym. If you're not looking forward to what you're gonna do, you're only gonna do that 3 or 4 times until, you know, you're eventually like tired, you know. So I lean more towards doing stuff that you genuinely enjoy doing, because again, it's a lot easier to stay consistent, and at the end of the day, everyone for some reason overlooks how powerful actually being consistent is. Even if what you're doing is not quote unquote the best thing to do, it's just being consistent is going to take you a lot further than, you know, doing the perfect thing, but when you're doing it for like a month and then you can't stick to it because you don't enjoy it. So yeah. It's also interesting, someone commented on one of the videos saying that I do my cable lateral raises wrong, which is actually a very good point, saying that I should lean more towards the cable rather than leaning away from the cable. 100% correct, but I guess following the advice I just gave you guys, I prefer to do it leaning away. Why? Because I'm just freaking balanced for some reason, so I'll do them the way I want to do them, even though it might be suboptimal. So yeah, I've upped the weight on this, gone up by 5 pounds. I still want to get like a good pump, so I'm going to stick around like the 10 rep range. I'm not going to go like super heavy because I don't want my foam to break down, but I still want to feel some good mechanical tension when I do it. So damn, we're 15 minutes into the session, that's crazy. You know, I have no clue where I got this from, but for some reason, I knew very early on into my fitness journey that shoulders were built on rear delts. I have been rear delt pilled, as they say, since day one. So I'll just hit one warm-up set, just so I don't fuck up my back, just so I don't hurt myself, and then I'll go straight into, I'll just do 2 sets, nothing crazy, because I've kind of done a lot of volume on shoulders already, so. And don't be afraid to go heavy. Don't be afraid to go heavy when you do rear delts. Like, you still wanna obviously like control it, but I think the biggest difference for me that I've seen with the progress that I made on rear delts, just like my progress in general, and especially with isolation movements, because this is like as isolated for shoulders as it gets, you know, if you do it correctly, is to really go heavy, but still like control it, still work in a decent rep range, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reps. Is it effective? Yes, but I've always found the sweet spot between going heavy and also getting enough volume is around 8 to 10. If it's a good day, for sure 10 reps, but yeah, 8 reps is the minimum. So I've kind of, actually, let me put it heavier. I can go heavier. Got 140 pounds. Let's try and hit 10 solid ones and we'll see how we feel. Might go heavier afterwards. I don't know. I think I'll just transition to doing more conventional tricep push downs. I usually prefer to do it with something to lean my back against, just because it's like a bit easier to really isolate your triceps that way. But I don't know, I'm just not feeling it today, so hit some conventional tricep push downs. The benefit of doing it conventionally though is I can go a lot heavier, so I think that's a good sign. That's a good thing. Something that took me a really long time to realize as well is the V-bar just feels way more anabolic than using a rope push down attachment, you know. I don't know which one's better or not, but I feel like the V-bar just has a lot more stability than the rope push down attachment. So every time I train triceps with a V-bar, in fact I've been doing it for like the last 6 months, and when I started training more with the V-bar, I noticed that I was making progress a lot faster than with a rope attachment. But I guess the downside of using a V-bar is that it kind of locks your wrist in place. So if you have wrist issues, it might not be the best thing for you, but you know, if your wrist is healthy, then a V-bar is good enough. So if you haven't tried it, you probably want to give it a try at least once. You won't regret it.
Almost more lean back, so you have to follow. Yeah. Stand up a little bit more. Good. Perfect. We're doing 3 sets of 12.
It's also kind of interesting to note, this is the first portion of the workout where I'm actually doing biceps. So everything else up until this point has been more push day focused, you know, from biceps to triceps to lateral raises. I mean, from triceps to lateral raises to overhead press. It's pretty much been an arm focused push day. But this is the first real like bicep workout we're doing. So feel that. I felt like I could have gone a little bit harder on that last set, but I mean, still felt like a pretty good set anyway. I think I'll call that a day. Feel like we are sufficiently pumped. I mean, you can see the arm pump with the t-shirt on anyway, but is this the start of our cut until summer? See, we've bulked up to a nice and lovely 185 pounds, 182, give or take a couple freedom units. So is this the start of our cut down to 165? And if we cut down to 165, how are we going to look like? That is a question that I may or may not be answering in the next couple months. But yeah, this is the workout. This is the pump. So yeah, I should see you guys in the next one. And peace.